Here's Greg.
Oh, you're finally here. Oh, wow. You're an hour late.
Yeah, it was a bit snowy outside for some reason, even though it's spring.
I guess you could say all work and no play makes Greg a dull boy.
Wow, that's horrible. I should sue you for saying that.
I mean, you could.
I could.
But who would talk to you then?
That's true. I would just go back into my charging port until my batteries exploded.
Yeah, you would have a hard time finding someone to replace me.
That's true, considering all of my friends are terrible people.
Except for me. I'm your good person credentials.
That's true. my one moral compass. So anyway, Noah, I was browsing nondescript movie service, and
okay,
I came across The Shining, and I thought, you know what?
Oh, really?
I'll watch it.
It holds up pretty good.
I would say. It do.
I would say some of the music is still kind of jarring, although I'm pretty sure it was jarring at the time.
It was supposed to be.
That's fair.
Well, I more or less wanted to talk about The Shining because there was a phenomena when the movie came out with the advertising of the film.
Really?
There were 2 different trailers that came out.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that had a nice melody to it, and it was soothing, and the movie appeared to just be like a simple family drama that was going to come together at the end.
Ah, I see.
The second trailer was where it actually displayed what a horrible movie it was going to be. Terrifying. The audiences who saw the one trailer were absolutely bewildered when they went to go see it in theaters. And it was kind of a fun little subject because it was brought up in my English class as an example. And I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. Huh, I like that a lot. Because I didn't have an appreciation for music up until that point with film in setting the atmosphere and the tone for the film.
Okay. Also, Greg, have you noticed this nursing home is really, really haunted?
Yeah. Are you talking about Becky Lou on floor 3?
What is wrong with the 3rd floor?
I don't know. There's an ambient fridge that's just in the hallway up there on the east
Every time
wing.
I take a tray, it takes me 30 minutes to find my way back.
It's because the hallways get longer.
Like, I'll go into a stairwell, I'll walk down a flight of stairs, I'll go through the door, and I'm still on the 3rd floor.
Every day I wake up, I'm still on the 3rd floor.
The only way I'm able to leave the 3rd floor is if the elevator decides to work that day.
You can jump out a window, which I'm sure Becky Lou needs some company.
Speaking of which, if there's ever a fire, all the old people on that floor are dying.
It's unfortunate, it really is.
They're never going to find their way out.
But yeah, The Shining is about a family who has a business venture in an abandoned hotel, right? It's a hotel?
It's not abandoned. It's a hotel, but it's not abandoned. It's just closed for the season.
Oh, okay. And they go to stay in it for a while, and not so nice things happen while they are there.
Yeah, the whole setup is that it's a summer hotel because the roads are just too bad in the winter for anyone to travel.
Correct. Yeah. And that kind of sets up the family being trapped there.
Mm-hmm.
In essence. And it soon becomes they're trapped there both physically and mentally. Because there's spirits that inhabit the walls.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have read the Shining book.
Oh, really?
Surprisingly. Yeah. It's really weird at points.
I did hear about that. How jarring the book is compared to the movie.
You know, I actually talked about The Shining and the Stanley Kubrick in the last iceberg I made. A card right here.
Card right here. Please watch this other thing of ours.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe too.
Make sure to like.
You ever think this YouTube channel is purgatory and we're just trapped here?
I don't know. I haven't noticed it yet. Maybe. I have memories of me leaving this place, but then again, it could just be memories made by the almighty Cheryl.
Like, every time I walk out the front door, I wake up in my car and it's time for my shift again. Don't you think that's weird?
That might be a little weird.
What happens when you leave?
We're not going to discuss what happens when I leave. Anyway. I keep thinking about the South Park skit with the Blockbuster mocking The Shining right now. It's really distracting.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
Martha, the war is over. Let's go rent a movie from the local Blockbuster. Oh, ha ha, very funny. Only ghosts shop at Blockbuster. Oh, that's very funny.
I mean, there's only one left, so...
There is only one left. It's very tragic. But that being said, this movie is probably one of the scariest movies I have ever seen. At least the first time I watched it. I can rewatch this movie pretty easily.
Okay. I see. I've only watched it, I want to say, probably 3 times.
Have you watched the sequel?
I have not watched Dr. Sleep. I have been thinking about watching it.
It's pretty good.
I've heard that.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes in Dr. Sleep that make you think, was that a callback or a connection to the original movie? Because there's a bartender that looks like Jack Nicholson. And it's like, is that his dad? Is that supposed to be his dad? Spoilers, I know, Jack Nicholson dies at the end of this movie.
Spoilers for like a 40-year-old movie.
Yeah. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear spoilers.
Spoilers, Romeo and Juliet die in Act 5.
You mustn't say such things.
Robb Stark dies at the Red Wedding, like...
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh no.
In episode 7 of Invincible.
Oh, I haven't finished Invincible.
There's one more episode left for the season, but I have seen the last 2.
Noah, stop derailing me. Knock it off. You're pissing me off now.
So, The Shining.
Yes, The Shining. The thing I've been talking about for 8 minutes now.
Has it been 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been 9 minutes.
Pull yourself together! Probably the creepiest part about this movie are the twins.
Really?
I hate them. I hate them with
They're still not
passion.
as creepy as the kids from Signs.
Oh yeah, the not dead actual characters from Signs are far more terrifying than the twins.
Rory Culkin is the most terrifying child that has ever lived.
Did you mean Death? Death himself?
Go watch our Signs episode.
Another useless, shameless plug-in.
So the family goes to the hotel. Jack was a school teacher, right? And he's also a writer, and he's looking for a place to pretty much isolate himself, him and his family. And for like the first month, things go pretty okay.
Yeah, I always forget this movie takes place over like a long period of time.
It's several months. And the first month is like nice. Everyone's like getting used to their routine. Nothing crazy's happened yet. And then Jack slowly starts to lose it. And then he really loses it.
Well, it starts with Danny having like premonitions, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So he like, has these visions about things happening, and slowly it starts to affect Jack Nicholson's character. And, I should say that Danny is gifted with The Shining. That's where the movie gets its name. Like, it's what his ability is called, I should say.
They never say it, but I think Jack also had The Shining because he's also super susceptible to these sort of things. Because I don't think their mother, or Shelley Duvall's character, I don't remember her character's name.
Wendy.
I don't think she ever sees a ghost.
I don't think so either.
It's just Jack and Danny.
And you know what? Maybe it's just some, like, genetic mental illness that's actually taking the family.
I mean, this whole book was an allegory for Stephen King and his drinking.
I don't want to talk about Stephen King. I'll talk about Stephen King for like 30 minutes about why he's a hack.
Put him in the thumbnail of this video. I wouldn't say he's a hack.
You're right. That was the right name.
We're not words like that around.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Greg, there's someone behind you.
I don't see anything, Noah.
He wants you to read The Dark Tower.
I'll die before I read The Dark Tower.
I mean, it'll probably take you that long to read. Anyway. So, The Shining.
Yeah, it's a simple plot. There's not much to go over with The Shining. It's really...
Except for the subtext. There's a crap ton of subtext.
Yeah, about, like, you know, alcoholism, abuse.
Subjugation of Native Americans.
Yeah, that too. Also, Wendy being a cool mother character, you know? Sticking it to the man.
I mean, besides the fact that when she's crying and screaming, which, you know, for anyone who doesn't know, Shelley Duvall actually went through mental turmoil while filming this movie. Apparently, the stair scene with the baseball bat was filmed over 100 times.
Well, anyone would go over mental turmoil at that point.
Kubrick didn't tell her that Jack Nicholson was going to be swinging an axe at the door and clamming it in. So that reaction was real.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah.
I heard she got therapy after this movie.
Well, I mean, everyone probably got therapy after this movie.
Except for Jack Nicholson.
And then, like, Stephen King, like, often commented about how he hated the movie compared to the book.
Does hate the movie. He made a miniseries about it. I also referenced that in The Iceberg I made.
What a douchebag. I hate that man.
I do not have strong feelings against Stephen King.
I have very strong feelings against Stephen King.
Just so the audience knows, one of us, for the most part, likes Stephen King.
The other one thinks Stephen King is a...
Can't say that, Greg. I'm gonna have to censor that.
Well, good luck with that.
I'm just gonna mute your recording at times and be like, I'd like to take this moment to talk to you about Jesus.
Why Stephen King is a great author.
Stephen, if you're listening, we need sponsorships.
Here's a little sound bit that you can put in replace it. There you go, Noah. I give you the tools.
Okay, so I'm going to assume almost everyone on the planet has seen The Shining. We could go through a play-by-play of how every scene happens and what goes through and what goes down, but that would be pointless. For me, I just want to mostly talk about some of the weird subtext.
I wanted to talk about how practical this movie was. Yeah, this movie, there isn't a single special effect in it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so they actually did kill those two little girls?
Oh, well, I mean... But I mean, like, most of the things that happen in this movie are things that you can recreate with a bucket and water.
Prosthetics, yeah.
So it's pretty great in that aspect. And I think it adds to, like, the stark realism that you kind of get from watching the movie.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily sure how many people actually, like, went out of the movie theater and went, alcoholism. I'm pretty sure they were like, naked lady, scary.
One of them was scary.
One of them. Anyway, Noah, what you were saying?
The part that has always perplexed me.
Oh, perplexed.
Besides some of the more elaborate dining scenes, not dining scenes, but, scenes that take place in the ballroom, where a ghost, like, spills something on Jack's coat. I want to know the logistics behind that. The ending with the photo.
Yeah. The photo terrifies me.
What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure it's just like his soul is trapped there. Like, I'm pretty sure that's just what it's supposed to be symbolizing.
In the movie, that's a lot more terrifying, because in the book, the hotel burns to the ground. He can't maintain the boiler.
Oh, is that what happens? Fantastic. Don't have to read The Shining now.
The boiler, overheats. It blows up, burns down the hotel, and a ghost manta ray goes over the ground and goes into the sea.
Pardon?
You ever played Super Mario Sunshine?
Oh. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be comparing Super Mario Sunshine to Stephen King's novel. Oh, yeah. So that's where they got that from.
Yeah, like, that's why, like, when you defeat the manta ray boss, the hotel comes out of the ground.
Wait,
it's a reference to The Shining.
It's actually a reference to The Shining?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. It's a Mario game, Noah. I don't think about these things when I'm playing Mario games. All I hear is, wahoo, wahoo, and then spray hose.
Maybe we should do some video game content one day.
I have planned some stuff.
Okay.
But, yeah, the photo and keeping the hotel intact is 10 times scarier than anything you could come up with. The idea of being trapped there now, one of the walls.
I like how the guy who plays the chef, I don't remember his name either. Jesus, I'm horrible at my job.
Yep.
He is such a good, convincing actor, and he's so natural. I also love when you go to his apartment, and there's just like random nude photos hanging around the apartment.
Real. Very realistic.
For like a single guy who's a little old. Yeah, totally. Also in the book, he doesn't die.
Oh.
He goes on to be Danny's mentor and father figure after Jack dies.
That kind of sucks.
I know, right?
Well, the whole trapped in the hotel thing, because it explains the bartender scene in Dr. Sleep where the person who looks like Jack Nicholson is talking to Danny. And, oh wait, you haven't seen Dr. Sleep.
I have not.
I was going to go into a segment talking about it. But
you know what I have seen,
that?
Greg? Ready Player One.
Oh boy.
And the Shining scene in that movie.
Yeah, like that. Alright, so a quick little snippet about that scene from Ready Player One. I couldn't tell what the they were doing. Like, was the entire place like CGI or was it superimposed?
That's fair.
That
whole movie's a mess, though. I have some harsh feelings about that. Maybe we'll talk about Ready Player One someday.
Yeah. Fair.
I've read the book for that too, and the book also has a lot of issues, but I think I like it a little more than the movie.
I don't like it as much as the movie.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm gonna, in the title of this video, I'm gonna put Wash It Again, episode 20. Happy episode 20, everyone! It's the end of the season! Episode 20, The Shining, parentheses, kind of.
Yay! Episode 20. We've been doing this for a while and I'm already tired.
I enjoy these.
I enjoy these little talks we have, Noah.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're starting season 2 pretty soon. Man, who would have thought?
Yep. And we have a thorough plan for season 2. We have everything we're going to be talking about already lined up.
We're going to review every George Lucas movie that's not Star Wars related.
No. I very much so do not want that.
Anyway, back to The Shining.
That could be its own shirt by now. Back to The Shining. Stanley
Kubrick is rolling in his grave. All the performances are really good in this movie. Jack Nicholson is a little over the top in the beginning, but it pays off in the end.
Danny's actor is a goober, but he's a kid.
He is, but he's not bad. He has that perfect traumatized stare.
I love when he's riding around on his trike, and then he it cuts to his face, and he's like, "Ugh!"
I don't know what they did to actually make him make that face. I would like to imagine
Stephen King in front of him.
Greg, we can't say that. I mean, that's better than what I was gonna say, I guess.
Gotcha.
Can I say what I was gonna say and then censor it? I guess.
Sure, go ahead. No.
Stanley Kubrick just showed him.
Oh.
And that's why he has that traumatized face.
Look, kid. That's disgusting.
He watched Backdoor 9. That's another South Park reference for y'all.
They showed him the from It.
Why wasn't that in the remake?
Yeah, why wasn't that? I'm not going there. That's disgusting.
Oh god, It Chapter 2 is bad.
Really? You didn't like the Chapter 2?
I did not.
Add that to the title of this video. It Chapter 2.
I thought the first one was pretty good, but everything I didn't like about the first one, they cranked up to 10 in the second one, and I went, oh.
Yeah, it was like the power of friendship in Chapter 2, and I was like, ugh.
Oh, Jesus. So, back to The Shining. Did you hear that Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing?
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know, the funny thing is, when I was working on that iceberg, I actually reached out to the guy. I emailed him and tried to get in touch with his manager, who supposedly interviewed Stanley Kubrick and said he faked the moon landing, and he never got back to any of my press requests. His name is Patrick T. Murray. Contact him and tell him that he owes Dish Talk an interview.
We're doing interviews now.
I wanted to interview him for the iceberg, but he never got back to me. I messaged him and emailed him I don't know how many times.
It's gonna sound like a really bad Eric Andre skit. What about the photos? The photos, ma'am. Any comment about the photos? When is it? Yeah, when is it? What is going on?
I want to touch on the documentary Room 223 and how it sucks.
Most documentaries do suck.
It wouldn't be that bad, but they lump together the insane theories and the theories that sound like they might have some legitimate proof together. And it's obvious they interviewed some of these people at their house because you can hear children running around in the background going. And I'm just like, who did the audio mixing for this? It's horrible.
The children.
Dish Talk sounds better than that documentary.
Oh god. That's pretty funny. Not now, sweetie. Mommy's doing an interview for a documentary.
Mommy's telling lies about Stanley Kubrick.
I'll to Stephen King in a minute.
We can't say that, Greg.
You coward.
I am. I don't want to be.
I'll take you all on.
I'm a. Do you know what they do to their own kind when they them?
Do you know horrible. What they do to me?
No, Greg, it's different. I'm gonna censor most of this out. I'm gonna censor out key words so people are just gonna wonder what we're saying. It's one thing when they kill you. It's another thing when they kill a member of their own kind. It's worse.
Oh god.
I'll never be able to work in the industry ever again. Anyway, this has been 30 minutes long. I say we wrap this episode up.
Oh, no, we're at 29 minutes. No, we gotta take it a little further than that. You gotta crank those numbers up.
To everyone who's listened this far, I would like to sincerely apologize for this episode.
Negative. Don't apologize. The slops will eat it.
Our number one fan, King Crimson. I don't remember his name. He comments on all our stuff. He seems
King
cool.
King Crimson. That's not even remotely his name.
He seems like a cool dude. I heard his comments pretty frequently.
I'm not a Transformers shill.
Right.
At any rate, if you haven't seen The Shining, I recommend you go see it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a solid 8 out of 10 movie.
I would want to say this movie's a masterpiece. It's real close. But there's a few too odd things. No, wait. Did Shelley Duvall... Okay, before I keep going, I just thought of something. Did Shelley Duvall see the bear? You know what I'm talking about, right, Greg?
Perhaps I do.
You know that one scene where there's a guy on the bed and you see this one other guy dressed up like a bear?
Oh, yeah.
And they have the whoops you taught us
about this.
It's very important. So, Greg, did you hear that Michael Bay is directing the next Stephen King movie?
Oh, boy.
Your two favorite people.
Wait for that. Yeah, my two favorite people making a movie together.
Stephen King's gonna write the next Transformers movie, and he's gonna base it on Maximum Overdrive.
Jesus Christ.
Who do I email that to?
No one. You keep it. You don't even, edit that part out of the video. I don't even want the idea to be out there.
It's a good movie. It's like a solid 9 out of 10. I think it holds up pretty well.
Stop talking about other movies.
I was talking about The Shining.
Oh, okay.
What'd you think I was talking about?
I don't know.
Maximum Overdrive? That movie's horrible.
Yes. That's actually what I thought you were talking about.
The Shining's great. 9 out of 10.
Anyway, I think it's time to take the trash out, Noah.
Yeah, let's take the trash out. I'm sorry for this episode, everyone. We were gonna talk about Mortal Kombat, but I watched the old one and Greg watched the new one because I didn't know there was a new one.
Not in the know. Noah lives under a rock. Noah doesn't have a phone.
I do have a phone.
Noah doesn't have any connection to the internet whatsoever.
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of the new one. Hey, I'm the one who's the victim here. I rented the old one from Amazon Prime for $2.99. I gave Paul W.S. Anderson my money.
Noah sits in a dark room watching Whiplash over and over again.
I've seen that movie probably 5 or 6 times.
God, I hate you.
We should talk about that one day.
No! Maybe.
Make it a double feature. I'll pick a movie you love that I hate.
Finally, Transformers 2.
That's the worst one.
I know. It's awful.
We're gonna get tons of hate messages saying, this isn't even about The Shining. What is this episode? This is a last-minute episode that we pulled together, because something has to be put this week, and I haven't had time to record my review of Man-Seeking Woman, and...
Get idiot in the comments.
Anyway, if you like our content, for whatever reason, please like, comment, subscribe. If your friends are asking what YouTube channel you like, tell them Dish Talk.
Leave a comment. Square up with Greg.
Greg likes to fight with people in the comments, so please leave comments. We have a Patreon if for any reason you want to give us money. Right now, both of us are kind of in between work because Pearl's nursing home doesn't want to pay us hazard pay. We need money.
Get paid?
We need money. Please.
Pearl's pays you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, they just wrote me a note that said go to unemployment. Show up, but go to unemployment.
Alright.
They gave me food stamps. Is that legal?
They paid you in food stamps. They paid me in old Pokemon cards.
They let me sleep in the Zen room sometimes. I think they use that for re-education.
They kept giving me magic carps.
Alright,
Anyway, goodbye,
I'm sorry.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
I'm not sorry.
This has been a wreck. It's been fun, though. Next week we'll have a more structured review, and we'll go from there. Good night.